But going to caffeine, especially because there's lots of different opinions on the use of caffeine. And I want to hear how you feel it impacts and whether or not you recommend it to patients. And if you do at all, is there a cutoff time?
So here at the center, I mean, a lot of our patients, because they're going through this treatment, we tell them just not to have it because it's just adding another layer of something that could disrupt them. But for the general public, I'm actually pretty neutral on caffeine. I think it really depends on the person. Like me, for example, I'm not that sensitive to caffeine. With being in school, for example, I can have class after work and have caffeine at like 5 p.m. and I go to sleep fine. Whereas someone has coffee at 1 o'clock and they're kind of messed up for the whole night. So I think you have to recognize your own triggers, your own patterns, and then take it from there. A lot of experts say 6 hours before bed, avoid it, or don't do it after lunchtime. But this is one of those things where you have to just recognize for yourself how sensitive you are.
Yeah, bringing up that question with enough guests in the past that are researchers, expert doctors also, it seems there are like two parts to that. Number one, are you a quick metabolizer, probably like you are, of caffeine in general? That means you can have it a little bit later. It doesn't impact you much. It really isn't going to affect you as much, and your sleep also. I happen to be on the other side of it. I freak out over too much caffeine. I got at 5 p.m. You said like, hell no, I'd be up all night.
Yeah, you got to get up early.
Number two on that is your cutoff time, because there are people, if you are a poor metabolizer, there are lots of people, I've heard this number, past 11 a.m., you should not have caffeine. If you're a good metabolizer, you could probably go into the night even and still be all right. Now, whether or not, because I know the half-life cycle of caffeine, many people can go on for numerous hours even after you feel it. So it could still disrupt sleep after, a certain amount of time, but you got to know yourself, number one, and give yourself that cutoff time that makes sense.